What's up, everyone? Brendan here, author, speaker, educator. I'm also known as the Gut Whisperer. And in this video, I'm going to do a book review on this book right here called Die with Zero, written by Bill Perkins. Now, before I start, I'm actually going to show with you and share with you how to win a book. I was actually the recipient of winning this book through Book Thinkers and the author, of course, Bill Perkins. And it is my moral obligation to do a book review because Bill, the author, worked very, very hard in writing this book. They worked tremendously with a marketing campaign, and they picked winners to win the book, obviously to spread awareness of the book, to get people to read it and share their experience. So when you win a book, it is your duty to read the book and summarize it and share it on Instagram. On a personal note, I hosted Living Legends in Leadership, and part of the prizes, I gave away several books, and I kindly asked all of the recipients, all of the winners, to do a book review, share it on Instagram, share it on Facebook, on YouTube, tag the authors, tag me, because that's the whole point, right? Like, you want to share the knowledge and the wisdom that's in the author's books and give them exposure, because that's why they wrote a book. You've got to read it and you've got to summarize it and share it. That's the whole point. So again, that is my duty to review this book and share it with all of you because I won it. It's a free book, so it's an obligation that I have to do. But it was a good obligation. I'm very glad because this book is very, very disruptive. It's quite challenging to read at times as the reader because you don't often put in practice some of the examples that Bill shares for the reader to do. For example, calculating one's death. Who does that? No one really does. No one really even talks about death. The whole premise behind this book is to die with zero. So let me explain what it's all about. Bill Perkins, Die with Zero. This book, well, getting all you can from your money and your life. Basically, the author shares tools how to optimize your life experiences and really die with zero, because as you accumulate wealth, as we continue to get older and save our money, it's kind of a little pointless to have a whole lot of money in the later years of our life because we can't use it. Chances are when you're getting older, you're in retirement mode, your bodies are starting to break down a little bit, you're not as youthful as you used to be, so you're certainly not going to be, traveling the Alps or going downhill skiing or going skydiving when you're super, super old, but you might have a lot of money. So the whole point of doing that is to get a lot of life's pleasures during the pinnacle of your life before it's too late, before you can't really enjoy that money. So I'm going to share 3 key points from this book that I really, really liked. Experts in retirement planning have even some lingo for this consumption pattern: go-go years, slow-go years, and no-go years. The idea is when you're first retired, you're raring to have all of those experiences you've been putting off until retirement. And you still, for the most part, have the health and energy to pursue those experiences. Those are your go-go years. Later on, typically, your 70s begin to slow down as you cross items off your bucket list and your health declines. And later still, in your 80s or beyond, you don't have a whole lot of go left. So those are your no-go years. So I really like that point because it's true. We're not getting any younger. So in our go-go years, ultimately, that's the best time to experience, travel, do things that you wouldn't normally do or you're not going to be able to do when you are later. Another point that I really liked is the Final Countdown app. Basically, this app is a tool that you can use to essentially calculate when you're going to die. It calculates your health, previous health, lifestyle, if you smoke or if you drink, anything like that, obviously diet and nutrition as well. So basically, once you've got an idea of when you're going to die, then you kind of work your way back by weeks, by months, by years into activity and money and savings and spending habits. So it's really cool. And then the final point that I'm going to do is actually I'm going to draw a chart right here and really share, because I'm a very visual learner, so I really like that Bill includes a lot of visuals. So I'm just going to do that right now. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to bend so you can see this. So this is a chart on page, let's see here. On page 116. And basically, can you see this? Yeah, you can. I'm going to point right here. There we go. So this line represents good health. This red line represents poor health. And this staggered line represents your net worth. Generally, as we get older, our net worth will increase over time. This line represents age all the way to 75, right there. I got to do Vanna White here styles. And this represents any activity, really. So as we're in our 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s, our ability to participate really in any activity for the most part is pretty much at its pinnacle. As we age, the ability to participate in various other activities, predominantly physical activities, for example, even travel for that matter, do eventually start to decrease. Priorities change, needs and wants and desires change as we get older. So that's just the activity. Now, what Bill is talking about, roughly around, I'm going to highlight this here, within our 40s to about 60s, that right there is like the best opportunity to participate in all different types of things that you want to do. Dreams, vacations, trips, trying to participate in sports or climbing mountains, biking, marathons, whatever the case may be. This is that zone where it's most optimal, where also your net worth is at a decent level, where you've got some savings, you've got a little bit of a nest egg, and you can afford to do these activities. Now, what this book is talking about is as the ability to participate in any type of more so extreme activity, that's going to decrease, and oddly enough, your income, your savings generally increases and increases through savings and the compound interest and so forth. And there comes a point where you've really aged and you can't use that money. And that's why Bill is talking about die with zero. The same thing, wouldn't it be fair, in this book he talks about, wouldn't it be better to give your will or estate or major savings to your children so you can see them use it in their late 20s and early 30s rather than when they're in their 50s and 60s? Because that's what Bill talks about. Generally, the average age for receiving an inheritance is around 58 to 60 years old. In fact, my mom is at that age right now, and she's just receiving a will from her dad passing away. So it's interesting. It's definitely interesting to consider. This book is I'm going to move the camera here. Give me 1 second here. So this book is definitely for two different types of readers. The first type of reader is someone who has built wealth, someone who has accumulated vast fortunes and continues to build their savings and continues to expand with their financial stability. But at the same time, Bill wants to try to teach and share with that particular person that, hey, slow down maybe, or try to use and enjoy that money, because all of that money saved, those are called life experiences that you never had, that you essentially paid for in salaries and hours worked and so forth. So he's really trying to change your way of thinking. And then the other side of the reader is someone that's working so hard and just like plugging in the hours all the time and not enjoying much of the fruits of all of their labor. So there's two different readers for this book. It's a good book. It's very disruptive. I had a lot of challenging moments reading it because it's just so different to think that way. So I'm glad that I did. And I think, and Bill even says this, his main goal is for this book to be a catalyst into a new way of thinking and try to start to appreciate money differently and use it differently and understand that when we age, we're not going to have that ability to enjoy money as much as we think that we may have. So I definitely recommend reading this book because, hey, you're learning, always learning. So this is a fantastic read. I'm really glad that I won it. Thank you so much to Book Thinkers for putting together the giveaway, and also thank you very much to Bill Perkins, the author of the book, who wrote it and gave away tons and tons of copies. It cost him a lot of money, no doubt, but at the same time, his vision is to really share and expand. So I'm glad that I'm able to help with that. So again, Die with Zero, it's a good book. Definitely something to consider, because we all can afford to save money properly and at the same time use those savings and hand them off to our children and organizations and foundations and so forth. But certainly it's a heck of a lot better to die with zero than to die with a shit ton of money in the bank and no one really can enjoy it, or you're not around to watch other people enjoy it. So all that being said, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed that. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, share this, maybe share this with the author. It'd be really cool to maybe have a conversation with Bill Perkins. He's a smart man. So anyways, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.